You know, because when you first heard that name, I mean, it just resonated, man. You know, I mean, you do the research, of course, but it was like being waking up, man. You know, and that's just like it was here. And I'm gonna bring this scripture out because this is the example that you follow, man. You know, like I say, this ain't for niggas, and that's what a nigga would do. And I'm gonna bring this scripture out, man. This is Matthew chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 18, and it reads, "And Yahushua, walking by the sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he saith unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him." And it said, amen, they straightway left their nets, man. They didn't hesitate. They didn't think about it. They didn't sit there and say, man, give me a day or two. I need to go home and tell my mom and them, and you know, and then I want to run holler at Big Mama. Amen. Hell, hey, forget Big Mama, man. You know, said they straightway left their nets and followed him. They didn't take what they had and go sell it and say, well, I just want to have a little money in my pocket so when we leave here. They left their nets and followed him, man. Straightway. And going on from thence, he saw two other brethren, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in a ship with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them, and they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him, man. See, that's what you get out of the potential elect, man, as opposed to a nigga that's, man, hey man, look, I can do some things, man, but I ain't giving up everything I got for you, man. You know, it's like that nigga on that movie, "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," when he was like, man, I heard the People's Republic was 100,000 strong. Man, we doing it, yeah. And Gary, yeah. Can you help me? Yeah, shit. Jake is with you till you want him to do something, bro. And like that young man, he went away sorrowful, man, because he was like, shit, that's too much. I got too much stuff to be, man. And that's just like a nigga storing up treasures right here on earth instead of storing them up in heaven. But these men, it says they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. They left the ship and their father, bruh. So that's saying if they were on that ship with their father, it probably was a family business. It was probably a lucrative business. And they had to have a good relationship with their father, because you ain't just gonna go to work with your old man and y'all don't, you know, it's like, man, I work with him every day, and no. They probably had a great relationship, man. Everything was fine, man. You know, they're probably making money. And he said, he called them, and they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. And as a man of the Lord, if my son was to leave me and start following, I'd see him following Yahushua, man, I'd be honored, you know. But it says here, they immediately followed him, man, you know. And Yahushua went about all of Galilee, teaching in the synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease amongst the people. And that's what it's, hey man, going out and doing the work. Now, we out here fishing now, man. Being used as fishermen to fish for the potential elect. We're not out here for fame. We're not out here gaining monetary wealth. This ain't your TD Jakes, Crapflow Dollar, Benny Hinn. Man, I'm not even gonna sit here and go through all these dudes, man. Start naming people, you know, all these people I used to watch constantly. But that's the example, man, that we're supposed to follow, man. You know, because it says these men straightway left their nets, man. You know, Peter and Andrew, they straightway left their nets, man. They didn't waste no time, man. I mean, they just dropped their nets and just walked off, man, and just boom. And it says, like I said, they straightway left their nets. And then when he came upon James and John, they left their father, a ship, nets, everything, and immediately they followed him, man. And that's how it was when you first heard that name. That was that calling, man, so to speak. You heard that name, man. It was just like that resonated, man. You know, and I can speak for me. It did for me. I put it that way. When I heard that, I knew that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, man. Straightway, immediately. Never went back to the Harlot house, man. Was on the block shortly after that, taking notes, learning this truth, man. Because where I was at was not the truth. It was a business. It was a racket. It's all it is. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It's a wayward doctrine. None of that has to do with anything with the truth, man. But immediately when I heard Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, that was something that resonated, man. That made me put my proverbial net down and immediately follow him, man. You know, and that's what brothers do, man. You know, we come from different places, different walks of life, man. You know, brothers never knew brothers existed, man, until we got into this truth, man. But when brothers heard that name Yahushua, man, that meant something, man. So how much more when Yahushua in the flesh walks right up to these men and call them and say, hey, man, y'all come on. Without hesitation. He just got up like, oh, okay, we was waiting on you, so to speak. Then, you know, maybe not, but when they heard that y'all come on, they went, man, immediately. These brothers went straightway. These brothers went immediately, which is the same thing, man. Did not hesitate, man. If you got any hesitation about you, you got any doubt about you, when you hear that name, if it don't resonate with you and you questioning it, you swear, I don't know, it sounds like it could be, yeah, but I need to check something. Let me talk to so-and-so. I need to talk to my pastor. You know, Big Mama told me she ain't never heard this before. Then you keep your net in your hand, man, because this ain't for you. But a man of the Lord is going to hear this. He's going to hear that name. He's going to hear this truth being brought out, whether you stumbled across YouTube, whether somebody invited you out to the camp, whether you was walking by and you just heard something that, you know, just like, whoa, what was, and backed up and like, well, let me just hear what they're saying. And I got about 30 minutes. I just want to hear. And the next thing you know, it's like, whoa, this is what I've been looking for, man. This is it. You know, if this is for you, you will straightway leave that worldly shit alone, drop your net and follow Yahushua, man. But if it ain't for you, you're going to be like that young man, in Matthew 19, man, where he walked away sorrowful, bro, because this wasn't for him. He wasn't going to give up all that worldly possession stuff, man. He just wasn't going to do it. And that's how you know you're dealing with Jake, man. Because Jake, shit, like I said, you'd have lost Jake in like the 18th, 19th verse. Maybe not with the murder, but when you start talking about adultery and all, hey, bro, Jake would have been sitting there listening to that. Today, Jake would sit there listening to that, eating some pork, man. Probably a bacon and egg sandwich or bacon cheeseburger right now, man. And he ain't finna leave that. So you know he ain't gonna leave no great possessions, man. You know. But the men of the Lord that go out there and toil in this truth and do this work in season and out of season, when we heard this truth, when we heard that name, well, those names, the names of Salakia, the Heavenly Father, and the name of his Son, straightway did we drop our nets, man. Straightway did we give up the world, man. Straightway brothers was eating pork, that went out the window. Brothers was eating shellfish, that went out the window, man. Straightway, we quit eating the inner parts, livers, gizzards, and hey, I used to eat that, bro. That's just the truth of it, you know. But I remember specifically bringing that up about gizzards one day, and I hadn't even gotten into the camp yet. And the brother Abijah said, "You can't eat the inner parts, bro. You're not supposed to eat that." From that day on, I didn't do it. And I loved gizzards, man. You know, but that was the end of that. That net was dropped, bro. You know, if you're not willing to give up what you got now to follow Yahushua, you marked for destruction, man. You know, and these men gave up a lot more than what you have to give up in this day and age, bro. Because you think of Jake, we don't own a damn thing, man. No land, we don't own houses, we don't own businesses and all that. You going to your enemy and want of everything, man. We don't have nothing. And the man ain't got nothing to lose, man. What's the flip side of this, man? You'll either follow and to gain eternal life and salvation. The flip side of this is destruction. So if you don't want to follow, woe unto you, man. We won't lose no sleep and won't shed a tear for you because that's your lot, man. And the Most High did that. And he can do what he wants to do. It's just that simple, man. So if you hear this, man, and it's for you, immediately, straightway, you will follow Yahushua, man. If it's for you. And if it's not, you'll be like that other man. You'll walk away sorrowful like, man, I just got too much to lose. And I hadn't been in this camp, man, but not as long as the other brothers, 9 or 10 years, probably about 5 or 6 years. But even in that short time, man, you seen cats walk away because they didn't want to give up what they had, man. They want to lose what they had, you know? And that's just that, man. But straightway a man of the Lord, immediately a man of the Lord is going to drop off, forsake all, and follow Yahushua, man. And I'm going to end it with that, man. And giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who rule well over Israel. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Akim pushing this truth. Until next time, Shalom.